Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Liam Douglas here, and in this video, I'm doing the LED taillight mod on my 2021 Toyota Corolla. But before we get into this, I wanted to remind you to check out the Liam Photography Podcast. You can find it anywhere that podcasts are found, and I have a massive catalog of 364 episodes that you can go back and listen to at your leisure. All right, so we're going to get into this today. So we're going to be taking out the factory lights on the back of the car and replacing them with a new LED taillight kit that has a nice startup animation. Now, this is in order to make the car not only look a little bit nicer, but to make the rear lights considerably brighter for nighttime so the car is more visible to other drivers that are following me. So we're going to go ahead and get into taking this all apart and putting it back together, and we'll see how things go. Okay, so in order to do what I got to do, I've got to take this interior piece off of the trunk lid, and I'm going to be using a plastic interior body panel toolkit that I got at Harbor Freight. You can get one of these for like $8. It's not an advertisement for Harbor Freight, just sharing where you can pick one up. Fairly inexpensive, and the nice thing is with the little plastic crowbar type things, you can pop out those grommets without breaking them. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, now next we're going to take a 10mm socket, and we have to take out all of the bolts that hold the taillight assembly in so that we can get the old taillights out and put the new ones in. And like I said, they're 10mm bolts, so it shouldn't be too hard. We'll go ahead and knock those out now. Okay, and then of course we got two bolts on each end that we have to take out, but I almost forgot about. Get these out. And so first we're going to be doing the top lights, and then we'll do the bottom ones. Now that we got the bolts all out, all we have to do is unplug the factory wiring harnesses because they'll plug in to the new LED lights the exact same way. All right, now as you can see, I've got all of the top lights out. All I got to do now is install the LED ones in place of it. Now before, this was just a straight plastic black strip. And with the new kit, it's actually going to be an LED light that goes all the way across there. So that's going to be really cool. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is the old piece that I took off my car, the old centerpiece, we've got to pull these clips and the nuts out so that we can reuse them on the new one. So you can just slide them out carefully on the side where the notch is, and you shouldn't have too much trouble with them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, now as you can see, the new one snapped in right where the old one was. Now, I am going to have black trim on the bottom now instead of white, but I don't really care about that. It's no big deal. So now all I got to do is reattach these lights, plug the middle bar into the light on this side, and then we can tackle the bottom ones and get this job completed. All right, now that we got the left side in, we're going to go ahead and put the bolts back in. All the bolts and nuts that hold everything together. And then last but not least, we got to put the nut up inside here to hold this left-hand side of it. And then last but not least, we got to put the nut up inside here to hold this left-hand side of it. All right, so we got the top part done, and all we have to do now is plug it in. Okay, now that we got the upper lights in, we can go ahead and put this back in and put all the plastic snaps back in. Okay, so now that we got the upper interior cover put in, we got to pop these side covers on each side so that we can get to these light assemblies, because we're going to be replacing these with new ones as well. Okay, so once you get this loose, there's this little plastic piece in here that you just pop out, and then you have to carefully take out these 10mm bolts so that you can take out this entire light assembly on the side here. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I've already done the left side one. Now I'm going to do the right side one, and in order to get the old taillight out, you have to come over here and you have to kind of push and rock it until you get it to pop loose, because it's got a metal pin that goes into a stopper on the side here to hold it in place. So you got to do a little bit of work to get it out. Maybe I can use one of my pry tools a little bit to coax it. I don't know. The other one came out easier. I guess I should have shot the video of that one coming out. Ah, there we go. All right. And now what we do is we have to remove the old wiring harness, because the new lights come with their own harness. So there's a piece inside here that I got to unplug. Part of a wiring harness right here. I got to get to the plastic clip so I can unlock it, pull it out. There we go. And then it pushes out through this grommet hole here. And then the whole taillight assembly comes out. We got our new one here. Brand new one right here. And it's got its own wiring harness that goes back into that grommet hole. So we're going to feed that back in there. Make sure we get it in and out of the way. There we go. And then we're going to line up the light so we can get that back in. Get the plastic out of the way here a little bit. All right. Now there is a plastic grommet on the side here that you got to make sure you hit so that the light seals up tight to the body like that. And there, we're done with that one. Now all we got to do is put the two 10mm bolts back in and finish plugging in and connecting the wiring harnesses. Whoops. All right. Now you want to make sure you don't torque these bolts down too crazy tight when you put it back together, because you don't want to inadvertently crack the plastic housing, because then you're going to end up with a loose light and water's going to get behind it and everything else, and that's not going to be good. So you just want to make sure you're careful when you're putting it all back together. There we go, nice and snug without messing anything up. Now we come in here, we grab the new wiring harness, and it plugs right into the same factory plug that's clipped to the side of the car here. And then we have a pigtail wire like we did for the upper light set. Okay, now as you can see, I've got the kit completely installed, so let's go ahead and test out the turn signals and then the tail lights when you turn your headlights on. And there you can see the Knight Rider style chase animation when you turn your headlights on. And there we go. So as you can see, there's the complete kit. Now I didn't test the brake light part yet because it's, well, I guess I could get in and do it now myself and then record it. Okay, so as you can see, we got the kit completely installed. Everything works perfectly. That is all there is to it. If you want to convert your Toyota Corolla to having factory LED lighting for the rear end. Now, in another video, I'm going to be putting in LED lights down here to replace these reflectors, and I'm going to be pulling out the black knockouts in the accent corners in the front of the car and replacing those with fog/driving lights. So watch for that video in the near future. Oh, and that'll wrap up this video. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, hit all the notifications, and I will see you in the next video.